As you already know from watching CNN, MSNBC, and the BBC, another Christian girl has been killed for refusing to convert to Islam and marry a Muslim man. Oh, you didn't hear about this on CNN, MSNBC, or the BBC because they rarely report these attacks? That's strange. You'd think that men killing women and girls for refusing to submit to their demands would be newsworthy. You know, because of that Me Too movement. UCA News reports. Christian activists are condemning the killing of a Christian maid after a Muslim suitor shot her for refusing to renounce her faith and marry him. Sonia Bibi, 24, was shot in the head at 9:36 a.m. on November 30th at Fazaya stop of Rawalpindi in Punjab province. The housemaid died on the way to the Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences Hospital in Islamabad. She was the eldest of 6 siblings. Her funeral was held the same day. Her father, Allah Reka Masih, a sanitary worker, accused Shehzad and his friend Faizan of killing Sonia. Faizan has been arrested, but Shehzad is still at large. Shehzad had been following my daughter for the past 5 months. He also sent his mother to our house for the marriage proposal, but they were Muslims and we are Christians. That's the reason I refused, Masih stated in a first information report. Does that make him an Islamophobe? Shehzad had threatened to kill my daughter. Faizan used to accompany him in following her. She was murdered for refusing the proposal. Teresa, the victim's mother, demanded justice. I stopped working as a housemaid 2 years ago after my right arm weakened due to electrocution. My daughter worked hard like a son, she said. The murder was denounced on social media. Sonia could save her life if she had agreed to run away with the boy, change her religion, and forcefully marry her. Stop violence against women, said Samson Salamat, chairman of the interreligious Rawawardi Tariq Movement for Tolerance, in a Facebook post. The brave daughter saved the dignity of her parents and accepted their decision, posted Pastor Riaz Arif Malik, former vicar of Lahore Diocese. Pastor Marcus Sharif, chairman of the Early Apostolic Church of Pakistan, urged clerics to take notice of increasing attacks on religious minorities. What kind of evangelism or service is forced conversion for marriage or murder? The silence of politicians raises many questions, he said. Well, it's not evangelism, it's dawah. In 2018, a 25-year-old Christian resident housemaid, Asma Yaqub, died in Sialkot, 106 kilometers from Lahore, after a Muslim suitor set her ablaze for refusing to renounce her faith and marry him. Her father, Yaqub Masih, accused a banner maker of dousing her with acid or petrol and setting her alight. You know, if this were a story about a Christian man or a Hindu man trying to force a Muslim girl to convert and then killing her for refusing to convert, this would be international news. This story would be used by news agencies around the world to prove that Islamophobia is destroying lives. But since it's a Christian girl being killed by a Muslim man, not only does no one want to report it, they'll accuse you of being racist and Islamophobic for daring to report it. And YouTube might ban you for hate speech just for mentioning it. Apparently, in 2020, the life of a Christian girl just isn't as important as protecting Islam from criticism. Raise your hand if you're getting sick of the insanity.
Everybody's favorite former mental hospital patient, and father basher, David Wood, has been blaming Islam for something that's happened recently in Pakistan. As you've seen in the clip, in that entire clip that I've shown, is that this Muslim girl was forced into marriage by this Christian woman, or this Christian girl was forced into marriage by by the Muslim, and I'm reading the article here. It says Sonia could have saved her life if she had agreed to run away with the boy, change her religion, and forcefully marry her. The brave daughter saved the dignity of her parents and accepted their decision. So basically, it's basically saying in Pakistan, there's according to the article, there's an increasing number of attacks on religious minorities. Religious minorities in this case was was the Christians, and because that Muslim man wanted to marry that Christian girl, so they were, she was forced into the marriage. And David Wood is basically blaming Islam. Of course, this happened in Pakistan. Now, this is a very subjective interpretation. Um, this is a very subjective interpretation of Islam in Muslim countries. In Islam, and I can't emphasize this enough, but in Islam, you cannot force a woman into marriage without her consent and will. See the Quran, chapter 4, verse 19, Sahih Muslim, number 3303, 3304, etc. So basically, what David Wood wants to do is he just wants to blame Islam for these women issues happening in the Middle East, Pakistan, the North African areas, Turkey, etc. Basically, anywhere where there's a Muslim majority, any country in the world that has a Muslim majority, and those Muslims are treating women badly, David Wood just wants to blame Islam for it. Islam for these issues. Now a lot of these issues regarding women, regarding marriage issues, regarding the stuff that happens to religious minorities such as Christians, Jews, and Muslim majority lands is not due to religion. It's actually a lot of these issues that women struggle with is because of cultural issues like honor killings, forced marriages, etc., etc. These are basically these forced marriages are purely backward cultural is a backward cultural thing rather than a religious issue. This particular issue forced the Muslim man forcing this Christian girl to marry him, etc., has nothing to do with Islam or religion in general. This has nothing to do with religion, but has to do with backward culturalistic tribal mentality. Not to do with the issue of religion. So Islam has nothing to do with this particular issue. About this Muslim man forcing this Christian girl to marry him. The other issues happening in places like Pakistan and Saudi Arabia and Egypt. The Arab states, the Arab countries, or Pakistan, Afghanistan, Egypt, Libya, whatever, like these Muslim majority lands. A lot of these issues dealing with women, dealing with honor killings, etc., has to do with backward culturalistic tribal mentalities. It has to do with the Arab culture or the Pakistani or Afghanistan culture. It has nothing to do with the religion of Islam. But David Wood seems to keep failing to understand this. He just wants to blame Islam for these issues when he's not looking into the bigger picture. These issues regarding women and forced marriages, etc., has a lot to do with backward tribal culturalistic mentalities of the Pakistanis. Basically the Arab culture or the Pakistani culture, the Afghanistan culture, etc. It has to do with that. It has nothing to do with the religion. But David Wood just doesn't seem to get it because he keeps repeating the same bullshit over and over and over. He doesn't seem to get it. So, I just wanted to make a video about, culture versus religion. When you see women being oppressed in Muslim majority lands, or if you see like these issues with honor killings and forced marriages and, other issues regarding girls or women, it has to do with the Arab culture or the Pakistani culture or the backward tribal Arab culture or the backward tribal Afghanistan culture or the backward tribal Berber culture. Berbers are the people of North Africa, etc. It has to do with more with the culture rather than with the religion. So basically, that's the whole issue. It has to do with their culture, not with the religion of Islam. Since Islam prohibits honor killings, it prohibits forced marriages, it prohibits child marriages, it prohibits harm to women or making women do things that are problematic for them, etc., etc. Basically that's all I wanted to say about this video. I apologize for putting the entire David Wood clip. Usually I want to give him as much screen time as possible, but in order to understand what I'm saying, I had to post his entire clip. So basically, next time you see Wood complaining about women being mistreated in Muslim lands or anybody else, he's not the only one. Robert Spencer making this claim, or anybody else, any other critic of Islam making this claim, whether they're Christian or atheist, remember, they're confusing religion with culture. Islam doesn't allow that stuff. The Arab culture and the Afghanistan culture and the Pakistan backward tribal mentality, or their backward cultures, uh, entail or allow those things. Islam doesn't. So like I say, when you mix culture and religion together, everything goes to hell. That's why you want to separate, the religion of Islam from whatever culture you are. If you're a Pakistani, you want to separate your Pakistani culture with Islam. If you're Arab, you want to separate your Arab culture with Islam. If you're Afghani, you want to separate Afghanistan culture with your religion of Islam. So try to keep your culture and religion separate, because when they mix, everything literally goes to hell. Stay tuned. The final videos are coming up.